yogis. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and if you're just starting your day, I hope you're having a wonderful morning. For today's practice, you're going to need 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks, books are a wonderful substitute. Today's class is going to be centered around our psoas as well as our gluteal muscles. Our psoas is 2 muscles that go from your lower backs and swing around towards the front of the thighs. It can be a cause of low back pain if you have tight hamstrings as well as a tight psoas. So for today's class, we're going to be focused on stretching, lengthening, and releasing. So you might feel a release of any low back pain you might have. As always, anything I say is just a suggestion, it's not a command, so please feel free to modify your practice. Without further ado, we're going to take one of our blocks and we're going to place it towards the front of our mat. We're going to take our other block and we're going to place it behind, so that way when we lay on our back, it's going to be about where our hips are for later after our pranayama practice. We're going to start laying on our back and our knees are going to be bent. We're going to place one hand over our heart and one hand over our navel and just start our pranayama practice, that foundation, getting into our yoga. Letting go of your day or your morning and really diving in. We're going to do a practice of Viloma. So if you have any constrictions in breath, then just return to a nice slow deep breath in, nice slow deep breath out. That's either in through the nostrils or out through the mouth. If you feel any tightness in your chest, just come back to this position. Again, following along with that, anything I say is just a suggestion, it's not a command. So when we do our Viloma practice, you want to think of a pitcher. And you want to think of the oxygen, the lungs as the pitcher, and oxygen as the water filling the pitcher. So there's going to be 3 stages. In the first stage, we're just going to fill up the base of the pitcher. Second one is going to be just a little over half, and then full capacity is going to be the rim of that pitcher, and then we're going to exhale and allow all that water to go away from the pitcher. So that's the best analogy I can get. Just go with me on that. So laying on back on your mat, rolling one shoulder back and the next, allow the head to relax and soften. Maybe allow the edges of the mouth to curl to smile. Letting out all air. And then take a little sip of air, counting to 3. 1, 2, 3. Pause. A little bit more. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Full capacity. 1, 2, 3. Pause. And then let all the air out. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do that 2 more times. Inhale. Take a little sip of air. 1, 2, 3. Pause. A little bit more. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Full capacity. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Let it all out. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last round. 1, 2, 3. Pause. A little bit more. 1, 2, 3. Pause. A little bit more. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Let it all go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Return to your natural spontaneous breath and just observe how you feel. No judgments, no expectations, just anything that arises. So that exercise is to build lung capacity. Maybe you find that the next time you return to your pranayama practice, your inhale is a little bit easier. Your exhale is a little bit easier. We're returning to our normal routine. We're going to take 4 counts in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause and exhale out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Finding that inhale. Pause. Finding that exhale. Pause. So we're finding equal part inhale and exhale. One more. Taking a body scan from the toes all the way to the crown of the head. Notice any areas of tension and stress and honoring that for our practice today. Know that you can always come to this space in Shavasana and exhale. Let it all go. Begin to take the hands down towards the ground and slowly turn your head. Inhale, bring your head back up towards the center. Exhale, drop over towards the other side. Inhale, bring the head back up towards the center. We're going to do that 2 more, 1 on each side. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. We're going to begin to take our right knee in towards our chest. Take the hands around the shin and just circle that ankle. Something we've done in class multiple times. And exhale, rotate the other direction. This time we're going to keep our left hand on that right shin. We're going to take the other arm up and overhead, and then we're going to extend the leg on out so it's just hovering just a little bit and really kick through that heel. So now we have that lengthening happening. So we're going to be focusing today the psoas on the left hand side first as we're in this position. Feel that lengthening that's happening. Feel the wrapping around from the lower back to the front of the thigh and that elongation happening through the quadricep as well. And on your next exhale, begin to release the leg back in, release the hand on in, and extend up into a reclining big toe pose. Toes reaching back towards you, feeling that stretch in the hamstring on the right hand side. Chin is parallel towards the thigh. Nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, release the leg on down. And we're going to switch over towards the other side. The left leg comes on in, hands around the shin and circle around the ankle. Change your breath, change that rotation. Keeping the right hand where it is, take the left hand up overhead, extend the right leg straight, hovering just a couple inches, and then kick through that heel so you really feel that activation turn on in. Be careful not to hyperextend through the knee, keeping that chin parallel towards the thigh and hold. Remembering to breathe. And as we exhale, we're going to release the hand on in, release the foot on in, hamstring stretch, reclining big toe pose. Left leg extends, kicking through that heel, relaxing shoulders, relaxing chin towards the thigh. So there's this space here as well as this parallel position. So chin's not checking or lifting all the way up. You have that nice neutral stance here. And then begin to release, ground through the feet, and we're going to take that block, we're going to place it horizontal right underneath our sacrum, our sit bone, and we're just going to release down. So we're in a supported bridge pose. We're going to come back to the same side we started with. So we're going to take our right knee in towards our chest, take our hands around our shin, and we're just going to straighten that left leg out. Now we feel a little bit more of an expansion happening with our psoas here. Nice deep breath in. Nice deep breath out. Nice deep breath in. And as we exhale, we're going to switch out one leg for the next. Nice slow deep breath in. Nice slow deep breath out. Nice slow deep breath in, bringing both knees in towards the chest, extending up into a supported shoulder stand variation, also called waterfall pose. We're going to kick through our heel here. Our heel's going to be in line with our sit bone. Maybe a little micro bend in the knee if you feel that the feet are too far away from the hips. And then exhale, bend the knees, release the feet back down, lift the hips on up and release that block off towards the side. Take both knees in once more. And just take the knees in a circle. Change your breath, change that rotation. Then we use that rotation to fold over on the side. And we can use that block that's behind us to support our head, so we can be down low for the next exercise. Or if we're feeling very active today, then we're going to come up onto our forearm. We want to make sure that our elbow is in line with our shoulder. The other hand can be just out in front. So two variations of the same thing. We're going to lift our feet on up. We're going to get into the outside of our hips as we come into a modified bound angle pose. So we're going to open up our knees and then we're going to bring it down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Begin to release the legs on down. And then we're going to switch over towards the other side. So you can just roll over and face that way. I'm going to stay facing you so that way my voice doesn't carry towards the back. Again, you can be down on your block using it as a pillow, or you can be up on your side. Just make sure that you're lengthening out from the side body. Elbow is in line with shoulder. And we're going to lift up through the ankles, through the feet. We're going to make sure that our knees are also in line with our hip and we're making a 90-degree angle, opening up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift the legs up just a little higher and then release on down. Press into the earth to come up to a comfortable seat. Place your other block towards the front of your mat so that way they're there for future. And then come into Sukhasana, easy pose. Inhale, shrug the shoulders on up. And exhale, draw the shoulders down. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, shrug. Exhale, down. Drop the ear towards the shoulder. And then change your gaze and look at the shoulder. Find a little more length through the body and tuck chin to chest and roll on up. We're going to do that 1 more time on the other side. Drop, look, chin to chest, and roll on up. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Drop the left hand, reach that arm up and over. Head can stay neutral, or it can turn and look towards the other hand, the thumb, or towards the top thumb, either way. Then we're going to scoop around, walking our fingertips from one side to the other, and go the other side. Reaching down that opposite sit bone on the left-hand side. And then use that momentum from the bottom hand to press away from the earth to come on up. Exhale, draw the hands on down, roll the shoulders up and back. Coming into a tabletop position. Now have the hands right underneath the shoulders, knees hip distance apart. If you look past your knees, you shouldn't see your toes here. We're going to kick and extend through our right foot, toes facing down. We're going to do 10 bends here. So we're going to bend our leg up to a 90-degree angle and then we're going to bring it back. 9, 8, engage that core. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Getting a little bit more into those gluteal muscles. We're going to kick it up a notch in little pulses. Heel going towards the sky. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knee is in line with our other knee, but it's going to hover and it's going to open out towards the side. Same shape we did before, but now we're in a figure, not a figure 4, but a tabletop position. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to open out towards the side, and we're going to point our leg out so it's on a diagonal. We're gonna draw little circles. You should definitely be feeling it in your gluteal muscles. 4, 3, 2, 1. Change the circle rotation. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take that leg back. We're gonna turn our bottom leg out, coming into a modified side plank. Reaching on up, you can choose to stagger the legs as well. Bring the arm up and over for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, 1. Bringing it back to that tabletop position. Before we do that other side, we're gonna go through a cat-cow flow. So we're gonna inhale, reach on forward with the heart. Exhale, draw the navel in towards the chest and round the spine back to a child's pose. Forearms. Round and back. 3 more of those, moving with your breath. Inhale brings you forward. Exhale, round the spine. Move back on the edge of that exhale. Inhale, forearms drop, extending back. Cow, cat, child's pose, and repeat. Last one. From here, we're gonna round, we're gonna come back to that child's pose. We're gonna take our knees out wide, big toes touching. We're gonna take our hands, we're gonna walk them on over towards the right side edge of our mat. We're gonna take our left hand palm and we're gonna place it on top of our right. And we're gonna square up our shoulders. At the same time, we're gonna take our left sit bone and we're gonna move it back towards the back corner of our mat. So you should feel this stretch happening through the left side body. Another nice deep breath in, and as we exhale, we're gonna walk our hands back over towards the other side. Right hand comes on top of left, squaring the hips on down. And then take that right sit bone this time and reach it diagonally back towards the right corner of your mat. So we have a little opposition here. Right hand is gonna be pressing away as well. Nice deep breath in, and as we exhale, walk the hands back towards the center. A little space in between, shoulder width apart. This time when we find our next inhale, coming up onto the fingertips and walking the hands on in. Bringing the knees together, we're gonna lift the sit bones on up. We're gonna tuck the toes, coming into a toe squat. Take your pinky toe edge and include it as well. Take the arms across and give yourself a nice little hug. Tuck chin to chest, round the spine, really get that stretch through scapula. Both shoulder blades. Change your breath, change what arm is on top, extending out, arms like a T, and then change. Chin to chest. This isn't the most pleasant experience for your feet, but see if you can allow that energy to stay down in the feet and allow your jaw to soften and relax. And then extend out like a T and come back to a tabletop position. Bring out the tops of your feet, which should feel really good after that. Where there's a right, there's a left. Where there's a left, there's a right. So we really got into our IT band and also our gluteal muscles on the right hand side. Last time we were in tabletop, we're going to do the same thing on the left hand side. So we're going to come back to that tabletop position. We're going to engage navel to spine so we have that core engagement. So we're neither in cow or cat. Our gaze is going to be towards the top of our mat so that way we're not tucking. There's that parallel between our chin and our thigh. And then we're going to extend our left leg back, toes reaching down. Again, engaging navel to spine here. From here, we're going to do our same 10 bends. So our toes point down and then we're just bending our knee and bringing it up with a little bit of resistance. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Little pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 2, and 1. Bringing the knee on in, hovering just a little bit so that way we can focus it out. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep it on the rotation, and we're going to point our left toe out on the diagonal, little circles. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rotate the other way. 4, 3, 2, 1. Take our left leg back. Modified plank pose on the other side. Right hand goes right underneath the nose and extend the left arm up overhead. You can stay here or stack the feet. Up and over. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back on in to that starting position. Tuck the toes under, downward facing dog, pedaling out the feet. Walk the feet in towards the hands. And we're going to scoop our blocks up so that way we can find a little bit of length. And then exhale, round. One more time, inhale, length. Exhale, round. Take our right hand towards the center, right underneath our nose. Straighten our left leg, twist. And then we're going to do the same thing other way. Change of breath. Take the other block towards the center. Bring the left hand right underneath your nose and twist. My words aren't coming out today. You guys are doing great. And exhale, bring it back towards the center. 2 half sun salutations. So we're going to inhale, unravel our spine, bring our arms on up, palms connect, and press on down. And then we're going to swoop on forward from Tadasana to Uttanasana, finding our extension, Urdhva. Exhale down. Inhale, rolls on up, vertebrae by vertebrae, reach arms up overhead, palms connect. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale up. Exhale down. This time we're going to take our blocks off towards the side, hands down. We're going to take our right leg, keep it there, take our left leg back, and then we're going to bend it down. So now we're going to have 2 90-degree angles. So normally we're not really on top of that left knee unless we're in a half split pose. Today our low lunge is going to be a little bit modified. So our right knee is still going to be right in line with our heel, and then our left knee is going to be making a 90-degree angle back there. We can have our toes tucked under just like they were for our toe squat, or you can have them so that way it's flat and you're on the top of your foot. You can still have your hands down on the blocks if that's more comfortable for you, or you can start rising on up. So we have this length here that's happening. I'm going to extend both arms up overhead, taking that length that's happening and feel that length on the left hand side. That same length you had when you were laying on your back and you were kicking your heel out. And we're going to bring our hands towards our thigh. We're going to do the same thing that we did in cat-cow, but now we're going to be in this position. So we're going to tuck chin towards the chest. And you might feel something awaken in that left side. And then extend out, a little arch, not too bad for our lower back, and then round. The rounding is where we're really going to feel our psoas turning on. And extend back up. Hands go back towards our blocks, and then we're straighten up to a full high lunge position. We're going to take our right block and we're going to place it on the outside of our right thigh. We're going to press that right thigh into the block and the block into the thigh. We're still going to keep our knees so that way they're in line with our middle of our toes. So we're not twerking our knee on out too much. This is more just to engage. We're using that engagement now to open up that back leg into a warrior 2 stance. So my whole left foot is on the mat now. I take that right block, I bring it down, and I windmill my arms out. Inhale, shrug the shoulders. Exhale, draw down. 90-degree angle. Knee isn't going past the heel, and my weight is centered down in the center. I'm rotating out, externally rotating that back leg. Reach the arms on out. Take that front right hand, bring it on up, take the left hand, reverse warrior, bend a little deeper into that front leg. Inhale, bring it back. And then we're going to cartwheel our hands up and over. We're going to pivot off of that back heel and come back into our starting position on a high lunge. Take the blocks towards the front of our mat. Take our front leg to meet the back. Drop the knees and lower all the way down onto our bellies. We're going to take our hands right underneath our shoulders. Roll our shoulders back. From here, we're going to be bending into our right leg. Now, if this is uncomfortable for your neck to be holding up, you can just drop your forehead there, or you can turn your gaze and use a block as a pillow. We still want to be engaging our hands, so elbows are going to be reaching on in. The main point here is we're going to be awakening and getting into our quadricep area, and also our glutes. So we're going to flex our foot, dorsiflexion. We're going to create a 90-degree angle here, and then we're going to think about engaging our glutes, also engaging our lower abdominals to protect our lower back. We're going to lift up that heel, even if it's not that heel, but that knee, just an inch. We're going to hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release that knee on down, relax the glutes, and straighten the leg. And then we're going to switch other sides. So when we switch, we're going to switch our head gaze if we're using a block for our head. If your forehead's into your mat, then you're just going to stare down. Hands are still underneath the shoulders, elbows reaching in, rolling back, bringing a bend in that left knee, dorsiflexion, engage glutes, lower abdominals to lift the knee and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the knee, release the glutes, and straighten the leg. Slide the block on out to where it was. Lift up to a baby cobra. Exhale, lower back down. Lifting up, baby cobra. And back down. Lifting all the way up, this time into a tabletop position. Tuck the toes on under, downward facing dog, pedaling out the feet. You guys are doing great. Walk the feet in towards the hands. Uttanasana, use your blocks if necessary. Find a little length. Exhale, round 2 halves and salutations. Inhale, roll on up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Arms reach on up, palms connect. Exhale, swan dive forward. Come up halfway, find length. Exhale, round. Inhale, roll on up, palms connect. Exhale, forward. Coming up halfway, fingertips, shins or thighs. Exhale, round. Same thing, other side. So our left leg's going to stay where it is. In between our blocks, if it needs to inch more, we can. Drop that back knee. So we want to make sure that when our knee drops, that when we transfer our weight, our hip is going to be in line. So we have this 90-degree angle happening, 90 on the front, whole foot flat on the ground. Again, we can stay here, or begin to walk the hands on up, find a little bit of length, reaching out through the arms, finding that same length that we did on our back, kicking through our heel. Same thing can happen here. Should feel some lengthening happening on that right thigh. And then bring the hands on the exhale towards that front left thigh, round, and extend a little hint of an arch, and then round, and arch. Come back to a neutral spine, come back to our blocks. Come up into a high lunge position. Take our left block towards the outside of our left thigh, press into that block, and our knee is going to be towards our middle toes here. So we have the activation of the thigh. And then we're going to use that activation to open up that right hip. Release that block down, pressing on up into our warrior 2 stance. We want to make sure that our knee isn't going past our heel and actively engaging the outside of that thigh while actively engaging, externally rotating that back hip. Hands come on out. Shoulders shrug. Exhale, sink a little deeper, but we're still keeping our shoulders in line with our hips. Shrug and back. Flip over that front left hand, lift it on up and reach on back. Towards that extended leg, reverse warrior. And then we're going to use that extension of coming back up. We're going to pivot off that back heel, windmill our arms all the way down. Take our blocks towards the front. We can chaturanga or press back into downward facing dog. Chaturanga, we're going to come back to a top of a push-up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pedaling out the feet. From here, kicking up on the heels and lower back to a tabletop position. Releasing on down. Sukhasana, easy pose the same way we started. I'm going to take the left hand and bring it across the right thigh. Take our other hand back behind and bring in a nice little twist. Next, exhale, release the head, and same thing other side. Hand across the opposite thigh, other hand behind and rotate. Finding length through our spine. Nice deep breath in. And exhale, release the head, release the twist. We're going to take our blocks and we're going to place them on either side as we extend out into a seated wide angle. Toes are reaching up towards the ceiling. Blocks are on either side and we're just finding a little bit of length here. Take our other block on either side of that front leg and we're going to twist over towards that side. Same thing, rooting down through our opposite sit bone. Find a little bit of length, or you can also fold forward. Still taking that left hip down. And on your next change of breath, change your blocks over and bring it over towards the other side. Finding that length. Folding forward as an option. One more round of breath here. If you're folding forward, come back up. Bring those blocks towards the front of you. It's an option to fold forward towards the front. You can drape your forearms over your blocks as an option. If you're feeling really tight today and you want to have your hands on up and stay upright, you are more than welcome to do that. If you're finding that this is really hard to maintain and your pelvis is dipping under and you're rounding your spine a lot, you can roll up the back of your mat like a burrito and then sit on the edge, and that's going to prop your hips forward. So then you're not going to have this dipping under. Instead, it's going to be propping you forward and up. It will alleviate any lower back pain you might have. One more round of breath here. If you're folding forward, coming up on your next inhalations, we're going to take our hands behind our head, taking our elbows from side to side, leaning over, and then bringing yourself back up, leaning over, bringing yourself back up. Two more, one on each side. When we come back to our neutral position, release the hands, take the hands underneath the knees, and walking the feet on in. Moving our blocks out towards the side. Toes towards each other and away. Just massaging out the hips. And then I'm going to face sideways on this one so you can see, but you can stay facing the front. Dandasana or rod or staff pose. So we're going to take our legs out a little bit wider than our hips here. And we're going to take our block, one block, and we're going to place it towards the middle of our feet. Now we don't want to be dipping back, so again, you can just stay on your burrito if you used it for seated wide angle. You can have your block flat on its side or on its highest. Highest is probably going to be the most intense. flat's gonna be the easiest for today. We're gonna bring our hands back behind us. If that's too easy, then we're just gonna use the strength of our hips, of our thigh muscles. Then you can just place your hands on your thighs or on your hips. So a couple variations and options today. We're gonna scooch our left leg out towards the side and we're gonna bring our right leg up and over. We're gonna draw a rainbow. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then we're gonna switch. We're gonna go over towards the other side. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to now go at its highest point, and we're gonna have our other block right next to it. We're gonna scooch our hips closer, and we're gonna come down onto our forearms here. Again, we wanna make sure that our elbows are in line with our shoulders, and then we're gonna put our feet on either side of those blocks. So the blocks are gonna be like lava. We don't wanna touch lava. We don't wanna touch our blocks. So we're gonna come into a modified boat pose here, and our legs are gonna be at a 90-degree angle, and then they're gonna straighten and then come back in. Depending on when you straighten, if they do touch the blocks, you might have to have them go on their middle length, but our goal is to not touch the blocks as we straighten. So we're gonna go over and forward. You might have to move them further away for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Plant the feet on either side, lift on up and remove your blocks off towards the side. We're gonna hold on to the hamstrings and relax on back, bringing our knees in towards our chest and taking our knees into a circle. Change of breath, change that rotation. Dropping the knees over towards the right side of our mat, coming into a twist, which should feel really good on your spine. Arms and gaze can be however you want them to be. Two more rounds of breath here. Next, inhale, bring the knees back up towards the center. We're gonna exhale, draw them over towards the other side. Hello, wall. We're gonna do the same thing, choosing whatever arm variation or gaze suits you. 2 rounds of breath. See how slow can you get that 4 count inhale, pause, and then a slow 4 count exhale. Inhalation, bring the knees back up towards the center, plant the feet. You might have to adjust the hips. Coming into bridge pose, we're gonna plant through the hands, heels are gonna be towards the sit bones, and then lift on up, keeping the knees nice and parallel. From here, we're gonna plant through the hands and we're gonna extend the right leg up towards the sky, draw little circles. Should definitely feel the glute turn on the left-hand side. Change that rotation. And then release on down, lift the hips up a little higher, and we switch over towards the other side. Left leg lifts, draws little circles. Still reach the hips on up, feel that turn on the right hand side, changes the rotation. And then reach on down with both feet, lift on up and exhale, roll on down vertebrae by vertebrae. Happy baby pose. Begin to bring in the knees, extend the legs up towards the sky, flex the feet, bring it out, knees towards the armpits, holding on to hamstring, calf, or peace fingers around the big toes, or reaching for the outside edge of the feet. Maybe even rocking from side to side, massaging out the torso, the spine. And then begin to release the feet on down. Coming to any other poses you need for your practice today before finding Shavasana, shape that works for you. So that can be the knees bent here. So if you have any compression or discomfort in the lower back, having the knees bent or even a bolster behind the knees is very helpful. Otherwise, we're going to extend the legs on straight. Allowing the feet to flop open, palms to face on up. And just begin to close down the eyes. Allow natural and spontaneous breath to come back. So there's no more 4-count inhale, 4-count exhale. Relax all the muscles of the body from the crown of your head all the way down to your toes and fingertips. Soften and release. All points that are touching your mat are grounding. You're completely surrendering to the support of your props if you're using them, or the support of your yoga mat on the earth below. Finding 3 thoughts of appreciation. Allow those 3 thoughts of gratitude to bring a smile to the face and movement back into the body, wiggling fingers and toes. And to bring one knee and the next in towards the chest. Folding over onto your side. And then press into the earth to come up to a comfortable seat. Sukhasana once more. Easy pose. Crisscross applesauce. Hands on the thighs or hands at heart center. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your yoga practice. The light in me honors that positive light within each and every one of you. Namaste.